All right, man, we back. Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Check out our Detroit Pistons Talk playlist for more videos like this. And God willing, we have a Piston live stream coming real soon, man. Also turning up the Lions live stream as well. So about to get those cranking back up. But I do appreciate the love and support. But apparently Chauncey Billups wants to coach in the NBA. Chris Haynes broke the story. I'm all for it. I thought he would probably want to be more hands-off as far as being general manager and player personnel. Apparently, he wants to coach. I don't know if seeing Steve Nash, which most people feel was unqualified when compared to other candidates, especially minority black candidates, as far as Jerry Stackhouse, Patrick Ewing, Dwane, Howard, Penny Hardaway, all having to go to the college route, never got a chance in the NBA, the most of them. But, you know, at the end of the day, Steve Nash, great leader, played with some great offensive minds. Donnie Nelson, people forget about him when he had Steve Nash and Dirk in Dallas. And also, he played for Mike D'Antoni, and he had some time as player development or some role in the Golden State Warriors. So, wish Steve Nash the best. But, yeah, you know, Chauncey wants to coach. And I think Chauncey's going to be a hell of a coach. I think one thing that makes Chauncey stand out as a head coaching candidate, from my perspective, is his trials and tribulations through the league. He was, a top 2 or 3 pick out of the Denver area. He experienced the highest of the highs in the beginning and the end. And in between, he experienced the lows of the lows. You know what I'm saying? He hit rock bottom. You know what I'm saying? He learned from Rick Carlisle and Larry Brown what it meant to rejuvenate his career and also be a complete point guard. And this kind of lining up for, if I'm the Pistons, I fired the hell out of Dwane Casey. I'm not going to hold you guys up. If you listen to my channel, I'm not a Dwane Casey fan at all, but I'll get there. As far as Chauncey, I think he's going to be a good coach. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you bringing in a developmental point guard probably this year in the draft. What better way but to get, you know, a Detroit's own Chauncey Billups. You know, when we good, we got good point guard or good point forward. It's either Isaiah, Grant, or it's Chauncey Billups, you know. And I think he can show anybody you bring in. If you move up on LaMelo, Killian, Cole Anthony, Theo from France, if you want one of those guys, then, you know what I'm saying, Chauncey, a great guy to mentor. If you want to go out there and get a Chris Dunn, or you want to move for Spencer Dinwiddie or De'Aaron Fox or whatever other point guard may be available, Schroeder or Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, then why not? Chauncey is the guy. I'm rolling with Chauncey. It's a great way to bring some of the older Pistons back into the fold and heal those relationships. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much it's a disconnect between Sheed and a lot of the older Pistons because Tom Ward's moved on from the Palace, and I'm glad he did. They got to understand that it's not Pontiac or Auburn Hills, you know, Pistons. It's Detroit Pistons, and I think every team should be downtown, especially if they're trying to create a hot hub for entertainment and family fun downtown Detroit. You got to have all your teams playing down there, in my opinion. But, yeah, I think Chauncey would be a good coach for the Pistons. The Pistons are growing. My whole thing about it was when the Pistons hired Dwane Casey, my opinion, and y'all can go back and look at the videos, it don't change. My opinion was you need an Ime Udoka, a younger coach, to grow with a younger core. My whole thing was Stan was gone, Stan Van Gundy, that is, and Jeff Bowers was gone. They should have personally cleaned house, traded Blake, traded Dre, got Ime Udoka, and they should have started over from scratch. And that's just my opinion on it. Now you starting over from scratch. You maybe can amnesty Blake Griffin. If not, great role player. I think he's going to be a great role player or glorified role player, not being able to be a full-time player anymore. And then I think you got Derrick Rose, who also can help in the maturation process and the growing process of the young players for the team as well, especially if you draft a young guard. Well, I just think Chauncey would be a good coach. You know, a young team need a young guy. Dwane Casey just shown to have a disconnect. First, he tearing down Seiko Diambo. Then he bigging him up in the offseason. I don't like his defense. I don't like his offensive sets. He just really like generic. You know what I'm saying? And I just think, you know, it wasn't no coincidence that Toronto moved on from him. And I also know Kawhi was a huge integral part of them in that growing process and moving him for DeMar DeRozan and blew up. But I just don't think it was a mistake that they end up and they glowed and they had a hell of a glow up and they became a really good basketball team and they won today and they back into that series with a miracle shot by OG Anunoby, however you pronounce his name. But I'm just not a fan of him. A lot of people think I got an agenda. I ain't gonna never push no agenda versus another black man unless they're Uncle Ruckus or a raccoon. And I don't think Dwane Casey is really like that, but I just don't think he one of those coaches, you know, that's going to get you over the hump, or he good for young guys. That's my opinion. Can I be wrong? Yeah, I can be wrong. Am I afraid to admit that am I wrong? No. All the time. If Taylor Decker for the Lions turn around and be a great left tackle and they win with him, I can say I was wrong. If Dwane Casey lead the Pistons to a championship, I'm not afraid to say, hey, man, I'm wrong. It's no issue. I'm not afraid to admit that I'm wrong, but I just don't like him for this team. I don't like him for a young team, and I don't like him for a team with championship aspirations. If anything, he a bridge between a contender to a championship. He probably a guy that can, you know, get you to a young. He probably can take a contender team and just tread water. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he could develop a young team to turn them into contenders and turn them into champions. Not too many coaches can go through all three phases. I don't think he could turn a young team into a contender. I think he could take a 7th, 8th seed type of young team, and I think he can make them into a 1, 2, 3 seed, but not having championship aspirations. I'm thinking more like what Atlanta and what Milwaukee is, what Atlanta was with Horford and Josh Smith and whatever they had with Mike Budenholzer. And I'm thinking basically Mike Budenholzer in the Milwaukee Bucks right now. Not quite championship material, probably good in the regular season. When it comes down to the playoffs, he not a good X's and O guy. When you got to execute in the half court, he don't have his own style like the majority of NBA coaches. He don't have motion. He don't have sets. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't like him. And defensively, it don't seem like he get through neither. So, yeah, would I fire him to bring Chauncey in? Or if it's another candidate that I thought was sexy to bring in? Absolutely. And people going to say, oh, I'm tripping. They're going to dislike the video. I don't care. But people got to understand, I got my own opinion. And if I said my opinion was biblical or it was my way or the highway, no. Sometimes you got to take chances. And a lot of people scared to take chances today, and I think this is a chance you should take. I seen Chauncey at the Big Three, you know, Little Caesars, in the media room, and I just think, you know, he just got an aura about him, seem like he know what he's doing. And, you know, the real question is, you know, will Troy Weaver and him be able to connect? You know what I'm saying? Will Tom Gores pull the trigger and X out Dwane Casey? It's the real question. If I can get a guy like Chauncey Billups, and I believe in him, Dwane Casey be gone. I know they had some cap issues where they was going over the luxury tax, and that's why they didn't probably take Kevin Porter Jr. and traded that 30th pick last year. But fuck it. Go out there, get Chauncey. It'll get a nice little buzz, especially if you allow fans whenever the next season of the NBA start. It'll get a buzz. It'll start to rebuild that connection between the older Piston teams and the current Piston regime right now, and they don't really have a good connection. You know, they're supposed to be giving Isaiah Thomas a statue. If they're not going to do that, which if Detroit is not going to appreciate Isaiah Thomas for all the work he did, even though some of it was dirty and had to get his hands dirty and do some grimy work, if we're not going to celebrate our people, our teams, you know, who else going to celebrate them? You know, if we're not going to celebrate Barry Sanders again, if we're not going to celebrate Isaiah Thomas and guys of that nature, then, you know, how we expect nationally to get that recognition. So I think they need to turn the clock back. It's okay to fire Dwane Casey. He been through worse. He can find another job. He'd probably be great in the college circuit. But if I can get Chauncey Billups and he gonna coach this year, I'm snatching him up. But then again, he probably gonna slide to Chicago, New Orleans anyway. I think Chauncey got a soft spot here, but I also think Tom Gores has kind of, you know, deteriorated that relationship with Pass and you know, really, really, truly great Piston teams and Piston players. But if you want to rebuild that connection, Chauncey be that guy. But remember, their organization, which they're not going to do this. They didn't want to get Chauncey the general manager position. They offered him the assistant position, and Chauncey wanted the main position. And they said Chauncey needed more experience. Tayshaun needed more experience, and this is why, you know, they won't have that connection. You know what I'm saying? They just don't make older players happy, you know. And then again, you know, they gonna probably want Chauncey to have experience, so they won't do it. But I think they should do it. But Detroit is a city of a lot of risks and you know a lot of chances, and we got organizations that don't take no risks and no chances, and they don't represent what the city is about, and it's sad in my opinion. But hey, let me know what you guys think, and most of you guys don't think I'm tripping, but hey, it is what it is. It's my opinion. It's not going to happen. Check out Detroit Piston Talk playlist. Share the video. Don't forget me on all social media. Links in the description. Want to make a donation? Cash App, PayPal description. Best way to donate personally is to share the video. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you guys think. One time for the one time. We gone.